work. I think that's probably an African artist probably did the border for that. And look, he used found photographs, his own photographs, colonial material, new things, old things, glamorous models, beautiful looking African women, and I think a lot of very strong conservation statement in all his work. And I think the beauty of ivory, I think that's a very strong conservation statement, because of course we realize the thirst for ivory is wiping out our elements as well. And you probably can't see this very clearly, but it's just one of these great collages where there's all this material from his family, from his childhood, to old diaries, to colonial material, and it very much influenced my curatorial career in a way. And one more photograph of his, again, a strong conservation statement, all those zebra skins. And at the same time we were doing our book, Morella Ricciardi, a very glamorous Italian woman who grew up in Kenya, was doing her book, Vanishing Africa, I think is still in print. And she did glamorize them. Mind you, they were very good looking, the Maasai especially. So that was great meeting her, and I think, and it was being in Africa and her photographs that made me realize I knew nothing about our own indigenous people in Australia. So it's funny looking back how you wonder how these things fed into you, which didn't seem apparent at the time. The Maasai, of course, had to kill a lion to be a man, and that must be a lion mane. And the Maasai are facing the problems of so many, well, nomadic people especially, but tribal people, with the increase in population and the increased agriculture. They are no longer nomadic, and their life must be changing considerably as well. This is Salgado, and that's one of on the second day, a marvelous, I think, Argentinian photographer, one of the Magnum group. And these were, he did go to Africa, and these are the African cow. And Christian, in fact, stalked one of these on the second day. And he did it perfectly. He was downwind, he crouched perfectly. And George said, those horns are very dangerous. He's too inexperienced. You can't let him. So we had to grab him and bundle him into the back of a Land Rover. So that was the second time in our whole life with him that he growled at us, but he did not bite us, but it was a clear warning of displeasure, but he let us do it, but it just would have been very dangerous. And look, this is the sort of photograph Salgado is very famous for, of miners working under the most dangerous situation and paid very little. Lots of them die under these extraordinary appalling conditions. I do write a blog, mostly about animals, also about climate change and the environment. So then I have to write about our particularly appalling politicians in Australia who don't seem to believe in climate change, which does rather put off a lot of my readers, but they're all interrelated subjects as far as I'm concerned. This is Nick Brown.